Scientific method is a procedure, a set of techniques for the investigation of phenomena, the acquisition of knowledge. It can also be used to correct knowledge and integrate past knowledge. The procedure method involves a cycle of experiments and observations, followed by hypotheses, which are educated guesses that explains the observations. The hypotheses allow one to make predictions, which can then be tested with experiments, and observations are made, and the cycle continues. As the cycle proceeds, one is able to develop a model of the phenomenon that you're studying, and that model is called a theory. The theory includes all of the hypotheses, predictions, experiments, observations. It explains everything that's been observed. The theory also predicts new observations which can be tested, and if those observations, those new experiments are tested and agree with the predictions of the theory, then the theory is confirmed. Otherwise, the theory might be proved false, or at least a portion of the theory might be proved false, and the cycle repeats itself until the theory is modified, until it agrees with all the experimental observations. The experiments must be reproducible. Another scientist must be able to conduct the same experiment and get the same results for the experiment to be valid. Let's look at an example. If we look up at the sky, we see the moon appears to have circles on it, maybe they're holes. We also know from everyday experience that Swiss cheese has holes in it. So we might come up with a hypothesis that the moon is made of Swiss cheese. This is just an educated guess. We now have to conduct an experiment to see whether or not it fits with this hypothesis. So we design an experiment to go up to the moon, take a piece of the moon back here to Earth, put it in front of a mouse, see what the mouse does. If the mouse starts eating it, then perhaps it is made of Swiss cheese. Of course, this would be an expensive experiment, but let's go ahead and imagine that we did it. We go up to the moon, we take a piece of it back, we put it in front of a mouse, and the mouse sniffs it and does not end up eating it. Okay, it looks like we have disproved this hypothesis that the moon is made of Swiss cheese. We could then conduct more experiments to test other hypotheses. Perhaps our next hypothesis would be that the moon is made of rock. And we do some chemical analysis, and it seems to fit with that hypothesis. If we do enough of these experiments, we can come to an accepted theory that the moon is made of rock, unless, of course, we could prove otherwise.